and all. Welcome back to our YouTube channel from Open Pen Innovation Lab, Bangalore. I am Divya, one of the managing partner of this firm. Our topic for the week is Darknet. As you all know, only 4% of the internet is being used by the search engines, all the social media platforms and the other websites. And remaining 95% or 96% is for the dark web. So rather than only seeing on the negative side of the dark web, I would like to take IoT as the use case scenario and see how we can enhance the security for these IoT devices, or we can call it as Tor of Things instead of IoT. Why I have taken IoT as a use case in the sense there is a growing community of devices being able to access the internet. So how can we enhance the security taking the Darknet concept? That is to be seen here.
Today's topic for the week, Darknet. Can we use them for IoT security, which can also be called as Tor of Things? Like, share and subscribe. We post new videos every week on Friday. What is Darknet? Darknet or dark web is an encrypted portion of the internet that is not indexed by search engines and require specific configuration or authorization to access. Darknet, it is more famous for wrong reasons, for being the epicenter of illegal activities. So what you see in the picture here, whatever we use, the Google search engine and other social media platform only constitute about 4%. The remaining of the internet goes with the dark web and deep web. So we'll be seeing what we can offer this week. Just to give you an understanding of how dark web works, refer to this following figure. The maximum or the universal set, if it is considered to be an internet, where all the protocols and all globally routable addresses will be there, World Wide Web is the internet which can be accessed through a web browser. Then comes the deep web, where the portion of World Wide Web that are globally accessible but which are not indexed by the search engine. And something called as surface web. So these are the portion of the same World Wide Web that are indexed by the search engine and thus make up most of the internet that most we use on a daily basis. Then comes our Darknet, a network that is used for routing for content that all sites and services are accessible only through non-globally routable address or only through overlay networks such as Tor, the Invisible Internet Project, which is also known as I2P or Freenet. Then comes the dark web, where darknet services and sites that are only accessible when using darknet networks. They are also known as hidden services. ClearNet, all portion of the internet that are not in the darknet. Sometimes also it is defined as the unencrypted internet. Before seeing how Tor can help us with the Internet of Things security, we'll just understand how this Tor network works. You can just imagine Tor network to be like onion peeling. Means once you peel one layer of the onion, one more layer will be there. So it means the many nodes which are present in the Tor network will only be knowing the IP address of the previous node, but it won't be knowing what is the source or what is the destination. Only once it reaches the destination, what is exactly to be the target address is to be understood. So here you can understand that the configuration of the Tor network is implemented on onion routing protocol, which means user connects to the darknet and browse this Tor layer through a wide or vast peer-to-peer connections. So how is it secure? Usually it is an unknown or unclear traffic routing. So it constantly keeps changing the connection, paths and circuit. So the darknet layer requires special tool and software to navigate, so it isn't accessible nor is safe without them. Here is where most of the stolen data and compromised data are available for sale along with all illegal items you may think of. This darknet layer is built upon peer-to-peer networking of computers and routing the traffic through so much ambiguity which makes it impossible to track. It is more resistant to attack than the internet because of its decentralized structure. The user identity is kept anonymous, which is why the data routing is through the complex path of network relay. So how we can understand is all the intermediate circuits, which is also nodes, will only be knowing the previous IP address and the next IP address. Till it reaches its target, it keeps on hopping from one node to another. So any node in between, it will never know what is the source node and what is the destination node. This is what makes it very unique. And how does it defend itself? Many experiments to disrupt the network concluded that the decentralized structure meant that there was less disruption to the traffic flow when the nodes went down. The scariest part is it is more evolving. Why it is more evolving in the sense, previously whatever we are speaking is only restricted towards a single desktop or your personal computer. So with the Internet of Things evolving more, we can understand lots and lots of data being generated or lots and lots of devices being able to connect to the internet. If that is the case, what happens? Is it really that bad, or can we learn something from the dark web which can enhance the security of this? So what are all the advantages and disadvantages of using Tor browser? Usually it is very difficult to shut down because it is operated by volunteers only. It hides real IP address, which helps in keeping the user anonymous. Usually this comes into picture where there are places where there is no freedom of speech or highly repressed nations. They might find it helpful to express their views or political opinions. And it is free to use, means it is easy to install, there is no payment involved as such. And as I said, since the user can remain anonymous, it can bypass all kind of geographical restriction. Coming to the disadvantages, it slows down the internet connection. Security is limited only to the browser. So as I said, once we dig deeper, we might find our own data being sold on sale in dark web. And there is a potential security breach for that. And it is the maintenance of this Tor browser is quite questionable since it is run only by volunteers. And as I said, it is famous for wrong reasons, where we can see hub of all illegal activities, which is a kind of a red flag. Means you might have a question like visiting a Tor or a dark web, is it illegal? I don't say it is, but what you do there is more important. But to keep in mind is not to spend lot of time there. That will be for. Now we'll speak about the main topic, that is Tor of Things. So many consumers, apart from owning smart devices, have no idea of how to manage or maintain security mechanism for their own smart devices. Most of us are at the mercy of the manufacturer of these devices to enforce security and protect them. So how about the solution of interfacing with the Tor network, where the user and the device don't connect to the manufacturer's centralized server to communicate, to accept the direct communication? Here, the advantage is the manufacturer cannot track a person's usage or data. This also addresses the issue of depending the manufacturer's security compliance and any security vulnerability it may have in terms of what users' data are stored. Also, users are not opening their ports on their local firewall and allow people to attempt to port scan their home infrastructure and compromise their secure environment. So now we have a question like how to visualize the Tor network for IoT devices. Here the figure what you are seeing is called as a Newton's cradle. At the source node, you will have your mobile device, and at the destination node, we'll assume it to have an IoT device. So here, whatever in between you are seeing all these balls, they are all considered to be a peers in the network. So how the communication starts? Just start at the source node by initially swinging the ball and then release it. So what happens? The ball swings and hits the ball next to it. The force is directed to the other ball next to it and it continues. Here each ball, as I said, is a peer in the network and the force is the communication the user wishes to be private. The communication or force moves from one ball to the next and on through until it finally moves its way to the last ball, which is our IoT device. In the same way, the IoT device can communicate back to the originator, which is our mobile device. So none of these balls in the device know the final target or destination or the source of communication here. They just send the data to the next one in line.
So whatever is the idea presented here for the Tor network of things is just a novel idea. In the real case scenario, there won't be any linearity among the peer-to-peer communication network since the route taken by each and every time in the Tor network will be changing continuously. So how we can improvise that? Still lot of work is to be done, but still it is not an impossibility. We can see it in the near future also. So what is your take on this kind of concepts to be used in our IoT devices for the safety and to be used it for the good reasons? Let me know in the comments below. Hope you all enjoyed this lecture and see you next week with a new topic. Like, share and subscribe. Thank you.